after that, he really wanted nothing to do with me. And I almost thought it was a joke at first, but it was legitimate. He really, I see him sneaking looks in the mirror and he would tell me on the drive back to the hotel, man, I just don't like being around that other guy.
Did you find that people wanted to keep a distance?
Definitely, and I think that was informative too for the character because, and it's in part I think why we wanted to create that look because Dupont had a very specific manner about him and a very specific physicality, and those things I think conspired to push other people away from him. He was off-putting, and it had the same effect with me just naturally on set. I generally ate lunch by myself, but I think it ultimately was a good thing to have that kind of separation from the other actors.
Speaking of like eye-opening transformations, we have to talk about Channing Tatum. I know that you offered this to him about 8 years ago after A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, in which he's phenomenal. Do you feel like he was better suited to it then, or did you feel like he grew into it by the time he actually got around to playing more?
I think it's a good thing that we didn't get the movie made right away. He kind of fell off it. I saw this film, Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, and he's amazing. And it actually encouraged me to continue developing the film because I didn't even have a script at that point. But I saw this film and I thought, oh, there's somebody who can play this part. So, there's a key piece, and I'm not just developing this blindly. Like I can expect that somehow I'll convince him to do it, even though he was, just starting out at that point. And he was like, yeah, I like it. And then his career started going in a very different direction, and he started doing very different, types of films. And but that first impression was so indelible that he kind of had to go someplace else and have a moment with that. And then when we reconnected, coincidentally, we bumped into each other on the Sony lot when I was finishing Moneyball. And he's like, yeah, how you doing, man? We started talking about it again. And what he says is that it's especially good for him that he was able to get that experience as an actor and in life.
I think it benefited everybody, that kind of weight. I'm curious, when did Megan Ellison come on board? How did she support this film?
Well, the movie fell apart after the first attempt, Moneyball. And then coming out of it, somebody said, you should meet this woman, Megan, and had lunch. I pitched it to her before she ever read it. She said, oh, that sounds like something I'd like to do. She read it and very quickly said, I want to do that. She's very wealthy. Her father is very wealthy. She's like, this thing makes me very uneasy, like, am I John Dupont? And, we talk seriously about the reasons why she's making films in the first place, and what films mean to her, what they had meant to her growing up, and why she got involved. And she said, this really unnerves me, this whole story, this whole thing, what it unearths, and if I don't make this film, I'm full of shit. Like, I can't not make this film. And she was good to her word.